This is Pastor Bart and I'm so glad you tuned in today to watch this new thing that we're doing. Yesterday I put on Facebook something new is happening today, and it sure did. Everything tried to come against it to make sure it didn't happen, but through Christ I can do all things. Anyway, we had the van hit a ladder on the way up here, blew out a tire, but we finally made it here to M. Wiesenthal's to give Micheal Wiesenthal's testimony about how he overcame cancer. I hope you enjoy the next few minutes. Even though the day didn't go as I planned, it went as God planned. And as Davey always says every morning before he goes to school,
this is the day that the Lord has made, and I shall rejoice and be glad in it.
So let us all rejoice together. See you soon. Hello. We're fixing to go in to see Micheal Wiesenthal, a good friend of mine who owns the shop M. Wiesenthal. It's located right here in the Frost Bank building in Bel Air.
The store's been here for 4 years.
Man, it's gone by quickly on that 4 years.
When you're having fun.
Yeah, it is. And I know that because we know each other, I know some of the things that you've gone through. And if you could give a little, what we call a testimony of what you overcame and how
In January of '08, I was diagnosed with AML leukemia, and I went through about 5 rounds of chemotherapy over the next 6 months, and my cancer went into remission. Went back for my 1-year checkup, and the cancer had come back. So the doctors decided the best way to treat it at this point was going to be a bone marrow transplant. So they went into the bone marrow registry and found a young man up in Westchester County, New York. We're of the same religion. We're both Jewish. Our grandparents are from the same region in Europe, and as ethnicity plays a big role in bone marrow matching, he was a 10 out of 10 match, which was a miracle in itself. They were able to locate him, and he was willing to do it. And I got a bone marrow transfer or transplant on June the 9th of '09. I have my birthday coming up in a couple of days, so bone marrow birthday. I'll be 8 years old as of the 9th, and I'm thankful. Okay, so after receiving my bone marrow transplant and slowly getting better and back on my feet and able to go back to work in the menswear business, that's where you and I met, working at Saks Fifth Avenue.
Yeah,
I had worked in my family's clothing store for over 35 years up then.
Yeah, you were kind of a rock star in the clothing business here. Son of the Herald in the Heights, notorious Herald in the Heights that clothed a lot of football players and even presidents.
Even presidents,
even
too.
presidents.
So anyway, I got a job working at Saks on the floor, and that's how you and I met, and that was a blessing in itself, meeting you. And we had similar backgrounds, and as far as what we had done in the past, and you had me come out to your church one day and give a testimony to your congregation, which was really neat. I really enjoyed that, and worked over Saks for a couple of years while I was working on a plan to open another men's store, and that's where we are today. So I'm about 4 years in this location now. I'm doing what I love to do.
Yeah, I know. The Bible says that God will take what the enemy meant for bad and turn around that evil for good. And I don't know, right now you volunteer for CanCare, and you go out there quite often and help out the folks there. Do you think you would have been doing that if you had not had the leukemia?
Oh, there's no question I wouldn't be doing that. I remember laying in bed, not feeling so good one day, and I said, you know what, when I get through all of this, I've got to do something good with it. I mean, there's no point in going through all of this and not turning it into something positive. So CanCare was very, very instrumental in me getting a good volunteer by the name of Leonard Donaldson, who kind of walked me through the walk. I was going through my cancer battle, and I found that to be very helpful. And because of Leonard Donaldson, I was inspired to also become a CanCare volunteer. So now I'm a CanCare volunteer working as a volunteer at Methodist Hospital, going to visit the patients' rooms that are about to either have a transplant or they've already had their transplant, and I talk to them on terms that maybe the doctor can't talk to them. But as you go through CanCare training and Methodist training, what they really teach you is not so much to talk, but to listen. And I've been in sales just about all my life, and for somebody that's in sales to get in a regime of listening and not doing all the talking all the time, it's kind of been a transition for me. But they just want to see somebody that came out on the other side, and it gives them a positive mental outlook, and I feel like it plays a big role in their recovery.
And I know we were mentioning earlier about you weren't really, when people said they would pray for you when you were going through everything, you didn't really know what they were talking about with prayer, how it was.
I thought when somebody said they were going to pray for you, that was just a figure of speech. That was just somebody being nice. I didn't realize actually that people did say prayers. And now that I'm on the other side saying prayers for other people, I realize that that is a real thing and it really does work. So I had a lot of people praying for me and a lot of people on my side. And my fellowship at the congregation I belong to, they were all praying for me to get well. So I was really blessed. I had a lot of good friends and a lot of people that were in awe, cheering me on.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the testimony of Micheal Wiesenthal. He's just the first of many that have been brought into my life by the Lord that I believe have had their own personal God moments. I write about my own often, but what I would like to hear is from some of y'all, some of the things that you would like to share, your testimony. We're overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, and it's time that we get it out to everyone. And I want to use what materials we have to get out to see you and to interview you. If I got to buy you lunch, whatever I got to do, just go on and email me at pastorbartdye@aol.com. And you send me a little invitation. I'll bring the camera and Chris and Davey, and we'll get you on film here telling your testimony. And later on, it might even go in a book. May the Lord bless you exceedingly and abundantly above all you could ask or ever imagine. God bless.